Hey guys, Marsinger here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so, for those of you who know, I mentioned it in some previous videos, I am away at the moment using a portable setup, so that's why there's no webcam. There won't be for the next few videos that go up, but obviously business as usual once we return. So, today we are going to be taking a look at the last of the units that got their EZAs from this batch that I have not shown off yet, which is the EZA INT BEERUS. So interestingly enough, I was going to use him on the Cell stage because I wanted to vary the stages I was showcasing these units on. However, this guy is one of the nuke leaders. His leader skill is int types attack 35% per int key sphere obtained, and those units are actually banned from some of the red zone stages like the Red Ribbon Army one. So we actually can't use him in that stage, whether it's on the team or as the leader. So something to bear in mind. Not many events that do that, but I was trying to figure out why I couldn't find him on the list of units to pick to put on the team. So there you go. So post EZA, his super attack is supreme damage to the enemy and raises defense by 50% for 6 turns. So you can get a few stacks on this. That is actually a very good super attack effect. However, his passive, attack and defense 150% when performing a super. Usually on super attack buffs are considered to be very good because they factor in support and stuff like that. He gets an additional attack 30% with each attack performed up to 150. Key 1 and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super when there is another bond of master and disciple ally in the same turn. And then attacks effective against all types when the target enemy is attack down, defense down, stunned or sealed. So he has some good effects. Actually, to be honest, a lot of his passive, when you read it, seems really good, right? He gets a lot of stats on super, he builds up extra attack as he attacks, and then you get the extra key, which is not really super important, but the additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, which can give you another stack on his defense from his super attack effect, when there's another Bond of Master and Disciple character who you're going to be running him with. The only problem with this is that, as you can see, he has no start of turn attack and defense. So getting 150% defense or an attack on super is all well and good, but when you're starting the turn at 85k, that means he's getting, what, 120 on super? So he's going up to like 200k. And then there's the super attack effect, which is 50%. So obviously factoring in support, after one super, he's still going up to like 250 or so, which is not the craziest, right? So we do have a Bond of Master and Disciple ally on the rotation. Normally I wouldn't put the Resurrection of F Blues in slot 1, but they probably are the best option for this turn. I want to get him linked up with the LR, Beerus and Whis, because that's the unit that I'm most interested in trying him out with, right? Because they can be pretty good on a rotation together. Once LR, Beerus and Whis take a hit and get their passive to activate, they can be pretty solid in slot 1. So, because remember, this Beerus getting basically all of his stats on super attack, you don't really want him to be in slot 1. Right? Maybe once we've gotten a few stacks off on his super attack, and obviously his start of turn attack and defense will be higher, but even then, it's only building off of his base when he's in slot 1, right? So we'll see when we get a couple of super attacks what his start of turn defense is, but his first super attack here, 3 mil. Unfortunately, the additional from his passive not converting into a super, so not a particularly crazy first turn. However, he is building up, remember, his attack with each attack that he performs. So even if the additional from his passive doesn't convert into a super attack, then obviously it's still going to be building up that part of his passive. So let's go ahead and we'll float off Beerus and Whis here. Get our 6 orbs for Goku. Goku probably going to be able to take this guy out here with the guaranteed additional. So we'll go ahead and grab these. So Beerus could be an interesting unit, I guess, by this point in the game, unless you're a newer player, and then potentially you might not even have this in Beerus anyway. But obviously one interesting use for him could be if you still need to do the punching bag missions, although to be honest, with the other nuke leaders that exist and how ridiculously powerful some of the Saiyan units are now, that you can run with some of these nuke leaders, like the tech nuke leader is the Super Saiyan Blue Goku. who has an EZA, so I feel like that could probably be a little bit better. So I'm interested to see overall with this Beerus, because the ideal future link partner for Beerus is going to be the LR Beerus and Whis is going to be the physical Dokkan Fest Beerus when he gets his awakening, but, or sorry, his EZA, but until he gets that, oh, this is a really bad turn. Full int rotation with no slot 1 units and no links active. That's pretty shocking. Alright, so we will pop an item here, get the key. So what is his start of turn defense now? See, 73k. So even though we've gotten a super off from the previous turn, because of the lack of links and support, we're on even less defense than we were on the first turn. So unfortunate rotations, obviously. It would have been ideal if we could have just started out with him with the LR on the same rotation rather than them being on opposite turns. So now we have to get them floated off and joined together. But at least this way we do get a stack. The Resurrection of F Blues are actually on Bond of Master and Disciple, so that part of Beerus' passive will still activate here. Hopefully we can get an additional super. Wow, all that damage with a reset active, that's crazy. 1.8. Yeah, it's going to take no damage. We only get the normal again. See, he has a bit of an advantage over the God Gokus that have, like the STR and the AGL one, because his chance to do an additional is at least a 50% chance, right, for it to become a super, whereas the STR and AGL God Goku, it's only 30%. And in the showcases that I did for both of those, we very rarely, if at all, got that to convert into a super. So I was kind of hoping that with his being 50%, we would see a bit of a better performance from him here, but that has not been the case. So I want to float off Whis, because obviously I do want to get Whis and Beerus together. The key on this turn is really bad. We still have the Whis active here, so I might do this, right? Because Margarita's actually got pretty solid defense. Wow, okay. We'll do this, and we'll do this. Not having the best of luck here, but next turn we are going to have the LR Beerus and Whis finally on rotation, and we are below the HP threshold for their guaranteed additional super, so they will actually be able to heal us a pretty significant amount on this next turn. And then Goku isn't going to get his additional super, so chances are we're probably not going to finish this guy off this turn, because I think the Int Whis super attack is counting as a keyboard, right? He just does the like finger beam. Let's see. Yes, it is. So he's definitely surviving till the next turn. And now we're going to be able to get some good damage off here. So this is going to be a fairly decent rotation. So with the LR Beerus and Whis, we share 5 links, which is pretty good. Godly Power, Connoisseur, Shocking Speed, Prodigies, and the Innocence. Our start of turn defense is now 100k. So getting 150% on super, that means that's 250, then there's the super attack effect, and this turn is with no support on the rotation. So in theory, he could build up to having a pretty reasonable level of defense after he's gotten some of these stacks off. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Wow. So I'm not getting very lucky with the orbs here, am I? Let's, if I transform with these guys and we transform the AGL orbs, I didn't realise the skip wasn't on. If we transform the AGL orbs into rainbows, we'll actually be able to get a decent amount of orbs with the Vegeta here. But it's not really important for them, right? It's not their showcase, but them being in slot 3 and then taking an attack from this physical enemy, it would obviously be preferable for us to get a super attack here. To be fair, their exchange animation is still pretty cool. Alright, there we go. So, get the 3 rainbow orbs of Vegeta. So let's see what we get here. So we've got no item active this turn. Beerus and Whis are going to get their guaranteed additional super. They got hit, so they got their defense buff. And then, yeah, we are definitely below the HP threshold for when they attack. Because remember, their 18 key heals you 15%. Then we get a guaranteed additional super that heals 10%. And then we have the hidden potential as well. Don't crit. I think we might not kill him if we don't crit, right? Yes, perfect. Oh, okay. And then they get another additional. Alright. So we don't get a super with Int Beerus, but for the overall survivability of this run, I guess that's pretty good. Triple super from them, and then yeah, we are basically back up to full HP, so that works out quite nicely. Man, Goku's changing these orbs, but I'm still getting very unlucky with the where these orbs are going, because I really want him as the slot 1 unit, but... Alright, there we go. So that can then get me 6 orbs for you. See, that works out perfectly. That's why I kind of like... There are some situations where running the Resurrection of F Blues with this God Goku could work out pretty well, right? Because obviously, especially once his intro thing has run out and he stops changing orbs, having a rainbow orb changer with him on the rotation is going to be super beneficial. Of course, one of the biggest drawbacks with the Resurrection of F Blues is that Vegeta really needs those rainbow orbs, and he only creates them for 3 turns, which seems really stupid, right? Because obviously once that runs out, that unit can just look so much worse, right? Because he needs 1 to get a little bit of a boost in stats, and then to get the full like passive active, you need 3 rainbow orbs of him. And when he stops creating them himself, it kind of becomes a little bit difficult to actually get those. So, very flawed design. I mean, that's not news to anyone, right? The Resurrection of F Blues, pretty disappointing release for most people. It is funny, we've mentioned it in previous videos, of course, but like how Battle of Gods units, these 2 new guys for this same day celebration, got so much like love and attention with their animations, how good the units are, and then the official Dokkan Fest representation we have for Resurrection of F, like the unit is just hugely disappointing and very flawed in their design, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. What are you going to do? So here we go. Let's see what we're up to now. This is going to be the best rotation for this Beerus, right? We've got Whis in slot 3 for the support. They share 4 links. So we have every single link active except for Berserker here for this Int Beerus. So let's go ahead and do this. What is his start of turn defense now? 128k. So he's getting support from Whis. We didn't get an extra stack last turn, but that means his on super buff is going to be like 180k without even the super attack effect. So he's going up to about 300k, and then obviously he's getting the 50% buff on his super attack effect. So that's pretty decent. We've attacked, what, 4 times I think in total with him. So we'll see what attack stat we get up to here. Like I say, this will be, if he was fully built up, this might not be the best turn this turn, but this is the best rotation for him. So we'll see what he gets up to here. If he had Fierce Battle, obviously again, if it was the physical Beerus, right, him having Fierce Battle with the LR is going to push those numbers up quite a bit. 4.84. Still not quite as high as I would have liked, considering like he's got all these links active. We jump up to 5.2 though, so you can see that's the effect of the passive, where we didn't have the full build up of his attack. So I mean, him getting the double super, we got the hidden potential additional. How much do we take from this? Yeah, see, double super on the turn where he's getting that double defense buff, and we still took that much damage from a super attack. That is a little bit unfortunate. I had somebody in the comments of one of the previous videos when I was complaining, I think it was the Tech Whis, where I was complaining about like what is his role of the team even really supposed to be, because that Tech Whis, he can put up some decent stats, but he's not supporting, like he's not really doing a lot for the team overall. And somebody said that, you know, some of these EZAs are supposed to be there to be useful for people that don't have the most stacked like boxes and don't have every character. But the problem is, for certain events, I can kind of see that, right? But if you're going into, like, the Shadow Dragon stage is by far from the hardest of the Red Zone stages, and if he's taking that much damage whilst also not really putting out crazy amounts of damage, I don't think, he's not really a unit that, like, having him on the team is going to help you, like, beat a Red Zone stage that you've never beaten before, right? So, let's see, what are we up to now? We're getting a lot of support here from Margarita. We have every link except Berserker active again. See, now we have 182 at the start of the turn. So that is a pretty significant, that's what, like 270k he's getting on super, plus the super attack effect. So that is a lot more respectable. And how many attacks did he actually need to do to fully build up? Yeah, he needs 5 attacks to fully build up his passive in terms of his extra attack, which he has obviously done at this point. So I guess Margarita giving the support and having that extra link like the Whis, this is actually probably a comparable rotation to him being with Whis. I'm not going to hit the nodes here. I don't think LR Beerus and Whis would one-shot this Nova with their attack anyway, but we'll go ahead and not do this here. I just want to see Beerus attack, and then I guess we'll finish it off here. This should be the highest attack stat we see from him now that his passive is fully built up. Although with the support, it could be similar to the additional super that he got last turn. But obviously we have the Bond of Master and Disciple allies, so we have the chance to get that additional. Yeah, 5.5. So he's not going to go any higher than that. But additional normal. We get him potential? No. So additional for him definitely going to be the best. I mean, he tanks normals, which I guess I say that a lot to defend these units, that they can tank normals from these tough bosses, but then they get destroyed by super attacks. But it's just the fact that Beerus is taking more damage than I would have liked from a super from some of the weaker bosses. But anyway, there you go. That is the Int Beerus, the last of these EZAs. Let me know what you guys think. Out of all the EZAs, now that we've shown them all off, which one is your favourite? Which one do you think is the worst? Actually interesting to see, out of the one that you think is the worst, what do you think is the number one thing that you would do to improve that unit? Let me know down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.